Talk to me about how the Marine Corps experience changed you psychologically.
Yeah, so they crush you and they build you back up with the mentality that you are fully disciplined and ready to follow instruction given instantly. You're also taught that mission accomplishment first before anything else. As in, you're given a mission, you are to accomplish it no matter what. That may even require your life or the lives of fellow Marines. As in, if you're given a position, hold down this bridge because it's vital for the enemy that may come across. You're going to hold it down, and you may be overrun, but because of your discipline and the training, and because you believe in the overall function of what you're there for, you hold it down, and that's where it may come into some very dangerous situations. But being able to live that out in life, and with the values that I had just maybe years before that now acquired, it was a very difficult circumstance or situation to be in, because now I'm being required to take somebody's life if given that order, or if put in the right situation. And so I found myself having to harden my heart, because my heart was now seeking the new life that I had, that had been following. And so, in now when I'm faced with these situations, and in possibly now having to commit harm or just perform in violent situations, I had to harden my heart to be able to get through it, so that I wouldn't break down emotionally and mentally. And so that began to really break down my personal relationship with God.
I was going to ask you, a man can't serve two masters. I was going to ask you how you were able to serve your country through the Marines and serve God at the same time. And I'm hearing you say that you had to set God aside for a while.
That's correct.
How traumatic was that for you? Because it's not something that happened overnight. This is a sequence of events that leads you to a decision that you have to make. And you made that decision. Was that something that you carried with you each day, or were you able to more or less set God aside and be a Marine 100% of the time?
So just like you said, you can't serve two masters, and so it was easier to follow the crowd or follow my peers. One thing about the Marine Corps and law enforcement that we could touch upon and hear in a little bit is that you build this camaraderie that is unlike any other. The closest thing that I could describe it to, or try to bring some context to it, is athletics. If you've been in any form of organized sports, when you go through difficult times together, whether you lose or you win, you do it together as a team. And the discipline that it takes to be able to get good at your skill of whatever athletic game you're playing, when you go through difficult times together, it builds this bonding that's like no other. So in the Marine Corps, we went through some very difficult times, and to the point to where I would trust the person next to me with my life. And so you grow in a sense of brotherhood, as in I trusted the person next to me, regardless of their race or their gender or where they came from. You learn to trust them. And so what they do then becomes kind of a part of then my nature, and I began to do what they do. And so there's a hidden theme inside of the Marine Corps that we're the biggest drinkers gun club. And so really we're outstanding marksmen with our weapons, but we also party really hard at the end of the day. And I've now, looking at it from a more reflective position, I look at it as in that helped to really numb myself from what I was feeling inside. Mentally, I was not right, because I was doing things that I didn't truly believe in. And so the alcohol was a way to cope with those hurts. And so I began to really get into numbing myself, and I started to drink quite a bit of alcohol and with my peers. It was almost as something that you had to do. Really, it was part of the culture to really just get engaged in numbing yourself and really just enjoying what I thought was enjoying myself at the time with my peers. And so when we'd be deployed, we'd be out for months, out in either some foreign place or out in the jungle or wilderness or desert somewhere. and you really learn to really become attached to to the fellow soldier next to you. And so that's where my relationship with God, as much as I had grown to love Him and understand His love for me, that got put on the shelf, and I began to love my brothers, and now my new, my new distraction, which was really alcohol and anything that I could to really numb the way that I was feeling inside.